Hey everybody, Bella here. I just wanted to go over the final results of my sourcing trip from Alabama to Ohio and then back to Alabama. So, as you guys know, I stopped in Kentucky and I stopped in Nashville, Tennessee. So, this is pretty much the fruits of my labor all scattered in the floor. I got everything out and kind of sorted it and made a plan for how I'm going to list it. I also got some clothes in this chair, a few clothing items that I found. But really the point of the video I wanted to make is to go over some numbers. So this is going to be my very raw data for the trip. So what I'm doing here is after the trip, I wanted to make sure that I got everything accounted for so that I can, put it on my taxes. So for food on the trip, I spent $96.14. I really spent more than that because I went to Walmart and got some groceries, but I'm not going to be able to write that off. But these are all my different food receipts from every place that I stopped. So I have like this sorted, my file cabinet as the food cost for this trip. I have 10 different receipts. So my average cost per meal was $9.61. So that's a decent little write-off. And then inventory costs. So surprisingly, all that stuff in there, I only spent $364.57. So each receipt is in the bag, and then I have 24 receipts total. So I wanted to look and see how much I spent on the average trip, and I think it was around $15. Yeah, $15.19 spent each trip. So that's just the average that I spend whenever I go to the thrift store. So I also had this Airbnbs printed out for all my different stops there. So I spent $154.15 on Airbnb, so that's pretty low cost. And then another cost to factor in would be mileage. So I don't have all of my gas receipts added up, but I do know that it was 1,014 miles total, and you're supposed to get 54 cents a mile, which came out to like $547. That's for taxes. Obviously, I didn't spend that much money on gas. But, I mean, I probably did easily spend $250 on gas. But, so yeah, the receipts are all accounted for. And one thing I wanted to look at was how much I got of each item. So I got 173 items total on the sourcing trip. That's what you saw in there. And so my average cost per unit was $2.10, which is really low in my opinion for inventory. And the reason that it's so low is because you have all these books to factor in, and plus I went to the the Goodwill outlet, the bins, and was able to get stuff by the pound. So I got 147 books, and then miscellaneous, I would call that like these board games and some of the stuff that I got to sell. The Disney inflatables, some VHS tapes, a remote control, a puzzle, and I may be off by a few. I just sat here and kind of counted this out really fast so that I could go over it. And then I also had 10 clothing items I got to sell. Most of this I just couldn't pass up. It was too good. Like this North Face was only $5. Like I couldn't pass that up. A few of these things I got while I was in Tennessee on the way up there. But yeah, I mean, this is kind of the results of a week's worth of work. I wouldn't say that I was working hard every single day, but I definitely did put in a lot of effort into this trip. But one thing I think is really important is that I start keeping better data from my trips, because you don't really know if the trip's worth it if you don't keep up with the information. So this is kind of my little sheet here that I've got going. I wanted to come up with maybe my total cost for the trip and see if it was really, then how much am I paying per unit if I added everything up and then divided by that. But yeah, I mean, you can see it's kind of a mess. I'm kind of tired, but I got home last night and I was like feeling really good about it and motivated, and like, that it was worth the time and the effort. So yeah, the next few hours I'm just gonna spend listing all of this stuff. I'll probably get my eBay stuff and just put it away until I get back home, because I won't be able to ship it out anyways. But yeah, it's been a really successful trip, and I'm glad that I went on it. I'm glad I vlogged it so I can maybe look back in a year and be like, wow, I remember doing that. And hopefully a year from now, I'm like, that's all you bought? Like, I want to be to the point where I'm just filling up this entire room with stuff and hopefully have some type of employee to help me out. But I mean, a few of these items are really profitable, like these Disney inflatables. I paid like 15 bucks for those. Those are going to sell for 60. Probably make about $20 profit on each one. This one I paid 22 for. I'll sell it for 70. I'll profit about $25. So what I mean by profit is I'll make my money back plus an additional $25. This stack right here, this all came from the same thrift store. Be on the lookout for these. These are great. They all look kind of the same. They have a weird cover and no ISBN. They're by a guidepost. They're some kind of, I want to say like Christian mystery book maybe. Anyways, these were 50 cents a piece, and a lot of these are selling for like $20, $25. It's kind of ridiculous. So off this one little stack here, I mean, on the low end, I'm going to get $150 off of that. And you know, books are vary, but none of these books are, you know, bad buys at all. These all have really good ranks, so I'll do some videos on some of this stuff once it sells. But thanks so much for watching my vlog, guys. I appreciate it.